Today we're introducing the topic of philosophical realism. So what do we mean when we talk about philosophical realism? Well, it's a way of looking at the world, and it answers two main questions, and these two questions decide if you're a realist or not. Now, the first question, to be a realist, we're going to look at through the idea of a banana. So let's imagine that this is a real banana. This corresponds to reality. So one of the two big questions a realist has to think about is there a reality? So we're going to split this in two sections. So the first question, is there a reality that is mind independent? Now this is separate from any of our thoughts. So to ask the question, is there a mind-independent reality? If you have a realist and they're thinking about a banana, then they believe that this banana exactly corresponds with reality. That is, the banana is equal to the banana in reality. So this is someone who is a realist, and they're going to say, yes, I do think there's a mind-independent reality. On the other hand, not everyone thinks this. So you might have someone who's thinking about a banana, and they're happy that the banana exists while they're thinking about it. However, they do not believe that a banana corresponds to reality at all, because there is no banana in reality to this person. The banana only exists as an idea, and as such it only exists while they're thinking about it. Now this person we'll call an idealist. So it's only the ideas that matter, and furthermore, if they stop thinking about the banana stops existing. So this person would say, no, there is no mind-independent reality. So the second question a realist has to answer is, do our thoughts correspond to this reality? Now this is a harder question than it looks, because if you look at a realist representation of reality and say you've got one person thinking about a banana that corresponds to reality, and you assume that the banana is a good representation of the real reality, then if you've got one person thinking about that banana, then surely if you have a second person thinking about the same banana, they will have the same thought, because there's only one reality. Now this is the extreme version of this theory, and it's called naive realism. So not everyone believes that everyone sees exactly the same banana when they look at it. So if you think that the banana does not exactly correspond to reality, you might fit in this last category here that says, when we ask, do our thoughts correspond to reality, we don't say yes exactly, because two people might not necessarily look at the same banana and see the same thing. We either say no or sort of, and this is where it gets really interesting for philosophers. So the idea here is that you might have someone thinking about a banana, and they might think perhaps that their banana is only a representation of the real world. Maybe they think it's kind of like the real banana, but it's not all of the information. Maybe we only know this banana in terms of how it affects other things. Maybe our banana is only like a 2D representation of what a real banana actually is in 3D. All of these things correspond to the most interesting and the most debated philosophical types of realism. So you'll have, in this category, you'll have philosophical realism, but also some strains of anti-realism. And these can include semi-realism, constructivism, representative realism, structural realism, fictionalism, and this is the topic with the most shades of grey that philosophers are most interested in. So in summary, the main tenets of realism are the two questions. Is there a mind-independent reality? A realist will say yes, and idealists will say no. Do our thoughts correspond to that reality? A naive realist will say yes, they do, and because everyone perceives the same reality, everyone sees the same concept of banana. But all of the most interesting arguments are going to come in this sort of category, where there are different ways people can believe that their ideas correspond to reality. And that is our introduction to realism.